All right. Hello. I'm now joined by Matt Bartlett, the new head coach of the Dexter Tigers basketball team on the men's side. Matt, it's a pleasure to have you with us, Eastern Maine Sports, today. Really excited to have you as the coach of the Dexter Tigers next year, as I'm sure you are as well. But,
Of course.
what are your initial thoughts and feelings now that you are officially the head coach?
Well, thank you for having me on and give me a little platform. But so for me, it's just, this is where I grew up. I grew up in Dexter, and I'm the third coach in the school's history. For me, that's I've told everyone I've been around that. That's really been really cool for me. And having Peter also to be able to talk to and bounce things off, and he's been so helpful. Anything I ever needed, with booster group or whatever it may be, it's been great. Obviously, I coached like the MCI girls for 2 years as a varsity coach and 1 year as a JV coach, and that was tough leaving them. Truthfully, they have a lot of great kids, a lot of good talent, and talent isn't always the most important thing, but it helps. But leaving those girls and having to tell them, I'm leaving was tough, but, I'm excited for their journey ahead. And I coached some of these kids like Ethan Doherty and Bryce Cooper and Cody Kimball, when they were in third and fourth grade. And it's pretty cool to go full circle now. But so
Yeah,
pretty
absolutely, full circle. Returning to the school where not only did you attend as a student and grew up there, but had a successful career on the basketball court, football field. A lot of, athletics in your life was tied to this school. And kudos to you for getting the position. We had Coach Murray on a few weeks ago, actually, I believe a couple months ago now. Feels like it was yesterday,
yeah.
talking about him stepping down and retiring. Maybe just touch on, what his influence has meant to you as you've started your coaching career, but even before that, as a player under Coach Murray, kind of what lessons have you learned from him as you now take the mantle and make it your own?
I think the number one thing is he's the best. He's a perfect role model for any, player, any a coach coming in. He does the right way. He treats everyone with respect, and he's been involved in so many different things with the player with associations and the coach association, the McDonald's All Star, all that stuff, and just being a role model for me, and you know being able to like just learn from him as a player, and especially on the defensive end was where I felt that I learned the most from him, and that's the just being the best role model for me has been enough one thing from Peter. So
Absolutely. I can attest. I played with you on those teams. So I know that you had I knew from day one that you had a great basketball mind, very smart player in your playing days, but you took that and you translated it into a great start to your coaching career where you mentioned before you spent the 1 year as a JV coach for MCI girls, and then you stepped into the varsity program. And we were fortunate enough to be able to cover some of those games. And you really did a great job with that program as well.
thank you.
Maybe just speak a little bit more about your experience coaching at MCI.
MCI was a great experience. I met so many kids and so many people. That Jason Allen down there as an AD is a top notch AD, and he helped me along the way. The last year for his first year as being a AD, but the kids, the memories we'll have of the kids. The first time I was at the Cross Center was with some of those girls. My daughter Addie is still really close with some of those girls. Hannah Robinson, who just graduated, they hang out and played together and stuff, and it was a great experience. And it was tough. Like I said, very very tough leaving, and I'm gonna miss some of those girls that are still there, Scaladine and Kaylee Dutton and Jill Riando, and Adri Brooks. I thought of the best thing for me going forward was going to Dexter, and just because of how it is as a community for Dexter. But MCI is a great town, a great community, great town, great people, and I'll still miss them and try to catch a couple of their games still though.
And it's on the girl side. So there isn't that level of competition between your team and their team. So
Yeah, that's true.
you can cheer for
Very
both
true.
there. But now, and I also want to make a note before the next question here, Matt, is I think that that's part of the reason and part of the appeal of you as a young coach is you kind of get the whole picture early into your career here and what it's truly about. And the Tigers, they made a great choice in you I'll say that right off the bat with the answer you just gave.
Thank you.
Um, but now let's look at the Dexter side of things and kind of talk about how does it feel, first of all, to be stepping into a program that up until you has had two coaches in the history of the program, and now you get to cement your name as number three in the history, not just the program, but the school.
It's surreal, you know, I never really thought it was a situation that I'd be put into or had the opportunity to coach, and I as a kid, I've always like I love basketball, love sports, and I always wanna be a part of the Dexter community because the Dexter community, they come around basketball. It doesn't matter if it's on the boys' side or with the girls' side with Jody or, either side, it's a community, and being a part of that is, amazing, and, my goal for going back to Dexter is, starting this program from, down with the little kids all the way up through. And we're gonna try and do that this summer with having with some of the middle school kids come and play the summer basketball with us. But I think that's what makes the programs is, having everyone involved in it. Ethan and Will Spratt and all the older kids going down and helping out with the younger kids. And I think that's the most exciting thing for me is getting this community back together, especially the basketball, the boys side. So
Yeah, you perfectly transitioned into kind of the next topic here, and you touched on it a little bit there with your answer. But as you make this transition into the Dexter Boys program, what are some of your thoughts headed into next year? Not only is it now you're going to be coaching on the men's side, but you're also coaching Class C, so there are some differences. What are your thoughts headed into an exciting next season?
so heading into next season, everyone knows the boys lost Will and Bryce Connor and also Caden Kimball. And you got to replace those roles, but it's going to be a different team. We don't have someone that's going to score 24 points a game, but we don't need, we need is everyone just to be together and play together and be great as a team. And that's, I mean, if we looked at MCI, we never had a player that's averaged over 12 points a game. That's what we want to do here. We want everyone to touch the ball. And, I want to be the best defensive team in not only Class C, but in Maine, if we can be. I want to be the best defensive team at all facets, help side, play great defense. And we have kids that can play. I went to a couple of games of the Harbor House tournament, the biggest one in Maine, and I stopped by and watched a couple of the boys' games. And, kids step up and they make differences. Ethan Doherty had a great Harbor House tournament. I mean, played awesome. I haven't met the PV kid just yet, but seems like he has composure on the court and he can make this good decisions. Will Spratt, Zach Adams, all those kids. And then you have to make a couple different roles with Bryce Cooper and Cody Kimball and other kids stepping up. And, I haven't met all the kids yet, and that's a plan for next week, but just to let the spring sports get done and over with. Congrats, boys, by the way, on the big win in the baseball field. But, we're excited. I'm really excited for this summer.
Well, it's exciting to hear how involved you plan on being with the program as well. Obviously, that's always a great thing when a new coach is coming in. And also, you have the added benefit of knowing the community, you're from there. So I believe that this is just a perfect match. And Matt, we're so excited to, watch what's in store and just see some exciting basketball on the way. We thank you again so much for joining us here. And, maybe just take us away with some final thoughts on how it feels personally. It's really cool with the X's and O's and thinking about the history, but as Matt Bartlett, Coach Bartlett, how does it feel to return, so to speak, to where it all began?
It just feels great. I'm not good at going those words how I feel personally, but it just feels great. I'm excited for the opportunity, and I'm grateful that Steve and Roy gave me an opportunity to be a coach and, show what I can do on my home court and have all my friends and family be able to attend the games and, you know, bring that back to where, I guess where it was when I was younger and, meet the new people that are around the area. And I'm just excited for the opportunity.
Well, we at Eastern Maine Sports Matt are excited to cover your team and watch you continue to grow and have success with the program. And one more time, we thank you so much for joining us today and doing this interview with us in Eastern Maine Sports.
Thank you very much.